Hello.
Hiya.
Why bother prepping for your birth at all? Can't you just go on the day and see how it goes?
This is one of the things we get asked about most in DMs and at our tasters. What's the point in birth preparation? Because you don't actually know what's going to happen on the day. And to some extent that is true. Birth is unpredictable. In both mine and Tasha's birth, we had special circumstances and we had things that happened that weren't planned for. But it's about learning how to navigate those. I also think if you don't do a plan and know your choices, then you don't have any. What birth preparation does is it forces you to have a look at all the things that could happen and what you'd want to happen in those circumstances. So our clients who come on a course with us, we ask them to do a plan A, B and C for their birth preferences. And that might mean that if they have a cesarean, they still have a really positive experience, even if it wasn't their plan A, for instance. Also, if you turn up on the day and you haven't done any preparation or a birth plan or preferences, you're at your care provider's mercy, and it depends on what they think is best for you rather than what actually you might want to try. That's not to say that they will do anything that would necessarily be bad for you, but it just means that they
are at the mercy of policies and procedures.
Yes.
So they are going to have pressures on them that they bring into the birth space. And whilst this is a very individualised process for you, actually you are in the queue of maybe, 10, 11 birthers at the same time that they are caring for or that are on labour ward. So it's really important that you have your preferences in place so that they can understand what they should be prioritising, what is really important for you, and how they can make your birth as special as it possibly can be.
And they're not mind readers. So if you haven't done any birth planning and you have no idea what you want, then they don't know what kind of person you are when you turn up and you're in labour, or if they come to your birth and you're birthing at home, they might not know what your vibe is at all. But having done the birth preparation and having a solid, robust birth plan in place means that they just know what kind of person you are.
But I think people are scared that doing a course like Hypnobirthing is setting you up for failure, that you're gonna aim for the perfect birth and actually you're going to be let down when birth doesn't go perfectly. But that's not the case. We're not aiming for the perfect birth, we're aiming for a positive birth for you and your baby on the day. Yep. As plans unfold. So I think prepping for birth actually gives you really realistic expectations rather than idealistic expectations. Yep. And a lot of us are coming from a place of fear when we first think about birth. So I think prepping in that sense gets us to face up to our fears and makes us have conversations with our birth partners or even with our medical professionals that are caring for us. And once we face up to our fears, we can get an action plan together to address those fears and think, okay, well, I need to research, for instance, epidural and the process that's gonna take. And I'm gonna ask my midwife this, and this. I need this from my birth partner. So birth preparation just gives you that space and time to carve out a really practical plan to help you face this really what feels insurmountable fear that lots of us bring into birth.
I think the worst thing that you can do with birth is bury your head in the sand or turn up on the day and just think, I just want to see what happens. Because you're not noting yourself as an individual there. You're not saying, these are things I need. With birth, the most important thing actually isn't really what happens on the day. It's the way you felt while those things were happening. And if people respect you, know your options, know what kind of person you are, and your birth partner's been involved in your birth preparation, and we love having birth partners on the course, and their view on birth often changes, probably more than the birthers. You feel like you can tackle it.
And actually, having all of that behind you, having all of that prep done and dusted before you are going on the day, giving birth on the day, you can actually then go with the flow. you can then just go and see, because your thinking brain isn't kicking in.
You've done your decision making.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of your decision making.
You know exactly what you want, and you know exactly your episiotomy from your, I don't know, you've hormones and you know all the medical jargon. So if anything changes on the day and a medical professional comes to you and says, we recommend this, you're not hearing it for the first time.
Yeah.
You know that. You know
it's
that
not
option.
the space to learn in.
Definitely
because
not.
you want to be getting on with concentrating on how you're feeling in birth and getting into your zone. We hope that was really helpful. We think that preparation is really, really important. If you want to hear more from us, hit the subscribe button. We are also on Instagram at @the_birth_project. We love to chat, so if you've got any birthy questions, please let us know.
Bye.
Bye.